Hi, my name is Joe Bevan. I'm the CEO for Gitga'at Development Corporation. They are one of the 7 Tsimshian nations that make up the Tsimshian. And I'm here to join nation to nation to give some advice, to talk about partnerships, to talk about what's happening in the economy, and how we need to join forces and work together. I think the main message was to tell them about how the economy has changed in the Northwest and what we need to do to really take possession of it, to work together with the other First Nations, with industry, with government, and by government I mean both the City of Terrace, Prince Rupert, and Kitimat. So, and I think it's going to be vital for all of us and our survival, because we've just lost 2 main industries, which was forestry and fishing, and it's now changing to both logistics, mining, and gas and oil. So we really need to start figuring out what is it that these industries need from us. And as you know, Terrace has always been the hub center. So I think we're in a great position to recreate ourselves. I think it's going to start with finding out what's happening right now. Where are we hemorrhaging? Where are we hurting? And where do we want to be? These are turning moments of saying, do I want to be part of the mining industry? Do I want to be part of gas and oil? Do I want to be part of logistics or the port? And this is where we really need to redefine ourselves, and try to help, and we need help to figure that out, right? Because we've seen, like they were saying, the boom and bust, and it will start to hurt communities if we don't start working on that, right now. I've seen what happened in, I think it was Ketchikan, Alaska, where the whole community came out to support tourism because that's their only main industry. And maybe that's what's going to happen here. So in Terrace, because it's lost its main industries, right? So I think we really need to, work together and try to support one another in that, and support local businesses. We're going to lose it. We're going to lose businesses if we don't support the local business. And what I mean by that is, it's great to go onto Amazon and buy things that you need that you can't get here, but try to support those businesses, or we're going to lose them, right? And you're not supporting Terrace business, who are going to be here for you when you need something, right? So we really have some decisions to make on how we buy as well. They have no local interest. And when you have, and I think that's what's going to happen. And that's what's been happening all along, right? I mean, West Fraser, that's an American company. SCI was an American company that went bankrupt. And, they were trying to high grade off all the wood and leave all the not so good wood, non-viable wood behind. And that business model crashed on them, and nobody supported them. And they left nothing but a big hole in the ground. So I think we need to really think, how, if you're going to come to our community, this is what we need you to do, right? Here's a grocery list of things we need you to do on infrastructure, and leave a better legacy behind than what we've seen in the past. Well, here's a great opportunity to find out what didn't work. So, like I was saying, we had these big corporations came in, took the value out of here and left. Well, okay, now if we have another opportunity, let's say with a bigger company, let's say it's a green energy company that wants to come here and produce hydrogen, what would we do different? Now, what would we say to them? Okay, look, you're going to create local jobs, that's great, but you're not going to take all the value out of here and just leave. Maybe it's time the cities and the communities, or whoever's I guess territories or grounds they're on, they need to start asking for, I don't know, maybe an equity share in the company, and say, okay, well, looks great. We're going to get some of that equity and we're going to reinvest it back into the community, right? To make sure that we have good, solid infrastructure in the future, because that's what's going to bring other companies and in support of that big green energy company, or whatever the future may hold, right? Or whatever company that may want to come in this way, right? Yeah. The way I've been taught was to look at that do an external scan, find out what's out there right now and what's happening. So like I was saying, we've moved from fishing and forestry, extraction and processing. And now we're moving into gas and oil, logistics, and mining. So maybe you don't like mining and you don't support it, but your company could support it. So let's say it's, oh wow, I've created a laundry facility, a commercial laundry facility, and I'm doing the laundry for them, and it's bringing me in $1 million a year, right? That's an opportunity. It's to find out the supply chain of these companies and create businesses around that, because they're going to be around gas and oil, for instance, or LNG. It's going to be around for about 40 years. Wow, okay, that's a long time. What are they going to need to help support that? And the people that move here, let's say you have an executive who moves here from Calgary, moves into Terrace and says, okay, well, my wife and kids, and they still like going to karate, or they, my wife wants to get her nails done and her eyebrows done, and you name it. They still need those supports. And so maybe that's an opportunity for a business for somebody if there's enough demand. Right? So do it as an individual. And we need to really start thinking outside the box. I don't know if the brick and mortar stores are really going to make it like they used to, because I think it's all gone online. We don't, somebody just goes online, finds the company and says, great. And maybe it's a small business run out of your house until it grows to something that, wow, I have 10 people coming in, I need more people to come help me. And it grows from there, right? So those are the types of things I would be thinking about. So it's your supply chain. Right, and then looking for, and maybe it's we start partnering up on things. So a bakery and a coffee shop amalgamated together, and now they're offering their pastries and coffee together. And they were, kind of seen as competitors. And yeah, he did a bit of coffee, but not as well as this guy. So Cafanera and a local bakery got together and put it together. Or we start seeing a restaurant and a bar or a pub come together. So those are the types of things I would be thinking about. And yeah, you sometimes don't need the expertise right in community anymore. So yeah, we've hired people. So my CFO, for instance, he lives in Port Hardy, and I live in North Vancouver, and we run a company in Prince Rupert. So that just tells you how we really don't need, as long as we set up the systems to help manage it. I think would be, that's what's going to build on our success. So I think the old school way of thinking about it needs to morph into what it is today. Use technology to its greatest, because it's really going to change our lives, right? The digital economy is coming, and what are we doing to get a piece of that? Because that's where it's changing to. I mean, eventually, it's just going to be tapping my card on everything, and that's the only way I'm going to be able to pay for anything. And there's no more cash. It's going to be a cashless society. So what are we doing to help encourage that and help encourage that economy to prosper in Terrace? I don't think industry really has a connection with all the nations. When they come in, industry kind of focuses on what it needs to do and only within the people. So I think when we create these conversations, it helps relay on what are those challenges, or who are the nations that I'm talking about, and it really brings them together. It's a great networking opportunity as well. New partners could develop. I've met, I think, 2 or 3 of my partners at a nation-to-nation event. Just came up, gave me my card, we had a presentation. I've met somebody from back east just yesterday who said, hey, I have an idea on how to help you out on the coast with marine safety. So, those are the types of discussions that are going on that go on here. And I think it's a great opportunity, for the nation-to-nation, and the great opportunity for the First Nations in the area. So I think it's a very important discussion, and it brings us together with industry. So that's how I like it. That's how I'd love to see it, and continue on. Lisa's a great visionary to bring this. She went to one in Vancouver and then said, "Hey, I got this idea." I was there meeting with her when she told me about this, and I was just like, "Wow, I totally support you on it." She said, "Well, great. Now I need you to come talk. I need you to come speak to it. I need you to come to that and help support it." And so we did. Kitsillis helped. I think the inaugural Nation to Nation was done in Kitsillis territory at our community hall, and it was jam packed in there. And yesterday was a great sight to come walking in and just see a full house, standing room only. And I just like, wow, she's grown exponentially since this has all started. So it's great to be here at the lucky number 7 and to see it continue on. So, great job, Lisa. Yeah. There's a change happening in industry, and I think there's going to be a change that needs to happen among the First Nations on working together. I was always saying this to people. I said the real power, when LNG was coming into town, would have been if all of us nations worked together and said to LNG, we have 500 guys trained and skilled and ready to work for you. And I said, that would have been the real power, but we did it individually. And it really didn't work out for some nations, and it worked out for others. So I really think that, when change like this happens, we really need to come together and work together in partnership, because this is new to all of us, and we could learn from one another, and we could also learn from our partners. They could help us develop capacity and get us to a stage of running our own show. So I really think we need to get to that point. I'm starting to hear rumblings of it, and I'm starting to see it, but I would love to see more of that, because I think it's going to be important, and it's going to be important to our future. Yes.